So upon request, I'll do a short video on how I train the recall with stand and down. Well, not really how I train the recall, but more like how I reward the recall. Because teaching especially the stand, which is in 2020 further away than the down, teaching the stand itself is very individual, and there are a lot of really great methods. I've used one that suits bonus really well, and it didn't really solve my problem. I had huge issues with the recall for a couple of years before I solved it, and the solution was actually pretty simple. The solution was not in teaching the stand better or making the dog more secure in the stand. The solution was in my reward. And once I figured that out, it was really simple. Now, bonus gets easily stiff and has a lot of eye. So for me, it's important that I don't use a lot of balls for reward in the recall. I use that for teaching him the stop, but I don't use it as a reward in the recall because it will make him really stiff. So a lot of balls might be a good idea for a different type of dog, but not for him. The point is that the reward is super important because we spend so much time learning our dog's bonus pack to come to us, run fast towards us. And in the recall, it just seems to me that it's really difficult for a lot of dogs to have enough of, I see it like rubber band pulling. One rubber band is pulling towards us, one is pulling towards the back of the exercise. And I think in the recall, the rubber band towards us is really strong because that's what we start doing recall, recall, recall. So that is why I use this method. What I have is a target, and I need my dog to be able to run to the target, facing the target, and run to the target from behind. So like if I stand here, I will typically not start from a heel position. I'll start with him between my legs so I don't mess up the heel position too much. So I'll start with him between my legs, pack. Then I'll send him forward to a target. I've taught that separately. Oh yeah, touch. And then he stands on the target. So that's one possibility to train this exercise. Then the next is bonus come, stå. That when he stands, I can send him back, touch. So he can go back from a stand and he can do that from all distances. And that means that all of a sudden I have many possibilities. He can come to me in a heel position, he can come to me in between the legs, he can go out facing that way, he can go out facing this way. And this also means that I don't have to do the startup all the time. So I can very easily do like 20 repetitions without any problem. Bonus, come, pack. Touch. Bonus, abjad. So for example, it's very easy for me to send him again. Touch. Bonus, abjad. Now I'm doing it with a really short distance just to show it on the video. But normally I would of course have maybe 30-40 meters. Pack. Then once he goes, touch, bonus, back. The minute he makes a stop, I of course start with a younger dog or inexperienced dog. I start with a closer distance. When he makes a stop, there's two possibilities, actually 3 or 4. He can come back to me on a command. He can go out there, bonus, back. Or he can go spin. Wow! He can do back, back. He can go back, he can go into a spin, he can go, there are like 3 or 4 different stuff for this kind of behaviors for this dog that he can do. Bonus come, abjad. And I have that because I need him to listen and he can get a little bit trippy. So he can move his paws a little bit in the stand. So I really need him to be, he also gets a little bit of the twitching like, oh, I want to go, I want to go. So I really need him to be very sure that you have to listen. It's very important that you listen. Pack. Then now he will probably, because the distance is short, he will be a bit slow on the next, anticipating the stop. But that's very easy for me to train. So I go, touch, touch, touch. Wow! Bonus, abjad. Touch. Bonus, abjad. Touch. Bonus, abjad. Touch. Touch. Bonus, down. Touch. Bonus, abjad. 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 Touch. Wow. Bonus, back. Wow, super. And I can really reinforce the very strong stance. To me, it's not a criteria that he slides on the ground. I don't actually like that too much. But it's a criteria that he immediately, when given the command, that he freezes on all 4 legs. I don't want him to slide and then walk on the hind legs, because that costs quite a lot of points. So that to me was a really good stand. And the stand will of course be different once there's more distance, because he will have more speed. But that is a very well-defined stand to me, and I will reward him. But because I know that in a distance it can be difficult for him, or used to be difficult for him, to take the reward while thinking backwards, I will send him to the target. Uda, touch, wow, and then I will reward him. This also gives me the opportunity to reward him with a ball, which he loves, but I need him to be loose. Release from the stand, go back to the target, and then he can get his ball. So he never gets his ball for being in the stand position, because that makes him super stiff. I know it's different from breeds to breeds, and you can experiment with what you like, but basically it's really simple. I just have one way of coming to me. I can send him when he's facing me, when he's facing forward, and I can send him to the target. So that means instead of having the rubber band being really strong pulling towards me, I have a rubber band pulling in each direction. And I've trained that running to the target from facing and backwards. I've trained that a lot. So it's really strong in him, and I can use it in different exercises. And another bonus, which I would like to add, is bonus come. I can train the stops in the blind point too. Let me show you, because he knows that running to the target means you have to run fast, but you also have to listen. So I can go pack. Uda, rund, wow, get it. So I can implement the stop in the sending forward to the recall, and I can make it short and I can make it longer. And I know it's not really very technical or a high-end solution, but it's really simple, and it really works for my dogs, and I think it's a good basic skill to have. So I use that a lot, and I love using it. And it also kind of like breaks me a little bit out of the exercise, so it's very simple, it's more playful, and it's easy for me to do lots of repetitions. So let me know if you have any questions for it. I'll answer them, or maybe make another video that's hopefully a little bit shorter. Bear with me.